Now let's talk about my talk, which is purpose to profit, align your vision, and relationships to build what matters. So let's talk about a little bit about how we're structuring the Purpose to Profit Summit. We have kind of a theme for each day. Today's theme is possibilities. What is it that I want? What are the dreams and goals that I have? What are the things that I envision for my business? To start dreaming some of that up. As we go through, each of the speakers is going to give you other things. I was like, oh, I might want to add that. But where are you now? Look at what are those big picture goals that you have. Tomorrow, day 2, is going to be focusing on profit. Like, how do we build business? We've got people talking about a variety of different things about how you might want to incorporate different things into your business. And then day 3 is focusing a little bit more on purpose, having an impact out there in the world. For today, we have me, I am talking first, purpose to profit, align your vision and relationships to build what matters. Then we have Jill Austin. She is talking about becoming a leader in your field. What a wonderful topic. We're going to have a short break. And then Melissa Deely is talking about the power of the unconscious mind, healing blocks and building momentum. Really looking forward to what she has to share. Altrina Tillman is going to talk about financing for your business and how to have generational wealth. Rosie Batista is talking about the secret to amplifying your coaching impact. We're going to have fun with Rosie. And then I'm going to talk again at the end of the day. I'm talking about designed to thrive. Discover how human design unlocks your possibilities. And then Shelley O'Connell, flirting coach, is going to come with a little bit of tips for us, and she's going to do the drawing. So that's what we have on tap for today. So we are talking about building business. What is it you want to accomplish in your business? I have been talking a lot about goals that I have, big goals that I have had for a long time that I have not really believed I could do anything about. So I was not taking any action. Here's one that I have really loved sharing about. I want to have a regenerative agriculture farm where I have grazing animals like cows and sheep making productive food for us humans, nutrient dense food, quality food for us humans, and making the earth healthier at the same time. I want to be someone who educates other people about how to produce food this way so that the food production in the world becomes more sustainable, so that the food becomes healthier, more supportive of our health, and supporting the world in general and overall being healthier, prioritizing more about what's best for people and the planet. So these are some pretty broad, big goals that I have had for getting close to 30 years, really, for some of them. And I was not doing anything about it. You out there, have you had big goals, whether on that scale or big goals for your business or big goals for your family? Or sometimes you may have goals for your health, more personal levels, where you might not necessarily be in action doing anything about them. I know sometimes the goal just to stay physically fit and healthy. I'm not always in an action towards that like I should be. So we can have big goals that have a large impact and smaller, more, I'm going to say normal level goals. I think it's important to have goals at all of those different levels and ideally to be in action on them. But with these big goals that I've had, I was not doing anything about it. I was not coming from a place of belief. I was coming from a place of doubt and fear, and I can't have an impact on that. And with that, I was doing zero when it comes to action. If I don't do anything about it, nothing's going to happen in that department. I'm certainly not going to have that farm ever if I don't do anything about it. But if I am not taking action on my goals when it comes to my business, is my business going to make me any further than I am? No, I have to be in action. So with the summit, this 3 days, we are going to help us all focus more on action and different ways that we can take action and actually move forward with those goals. This summit is part of how I am being more in action towards my own big picture goals, the farm, and having that big impact in the world. By talking about it, I'm being in action. And by elevating you entrepreneurs, I am supporting the achievement of my big picture goals. You out there, do you have any big goals yourself? Put in the chat, put a 1 if you have any big goals that you are consciously aware of thinking of. Excellent, I see some 1s. And put 2 if you feel like you're actually in action towards them. You can put a 1 and a 2 if you like, so that we know that all of us are actually moving forward with those big picture things, because that's how we make change happen in the world, is through action. Now, I also cannot do it alone. It is so important for me to have relationships that support me in my success. Is there anybody out there who has bigger goals that may be part of why you are not in action towards them, may be because of the people in your life not believing in you? If that's you, put a 4 in the chat. If there's anybody who is, willing to say that that could be part of why they aren't moving forward. So yeah, so I see a 4. If there are people in your life who doubt, you can't do that. Who do you think you are? That's not possible. Why are you doing something like that? Why don't you just do your normal thing? I know that there are some people who want to start a business, but they are staying in a job. And just starting the business is a goal that they may have. That's a situation where a lot of people might be talking you down about your ability to do that. Here, we want you to know that we support you in whatever those goals may be. And if the people in your life more immediately aren't particularly supportive of you, know that you can find people who can be there. Since since the pandemic and everybody has really gone online, there is this global community. We all have people out there supporting those dreams, those actions we want to take. And you can find people anywhere in the world who can actively be supporting you. All of the people on this summit, most of them provide some sort of coaching and support that enables the people who choose to work with them to move forward with their goals, with their projects, with the things that they want to accomplish. So having relationships that support you in believing in yourself, taking action so that you can move yourself and your goals forward in the world. And this is how we increase our impact. We all want to have an impact, right? Put a 6 in the chat if you want to increase your impact in the world. And if you think that being here this week, this 3 days, is going to support you in that, then put a 7 in the chat. Like, let's learn things that we actually want to implement in our lives and in our businesses. And you may develop relationships with the people in this room, so that these can be some of the people you have on your team. On Thursday, I'm going to talk even more about team, so that You're not doing it alone. I know if I think about me trying to have this whole farm thing and having the level of impact where I am influencing the decisions that are, like governments and agencies and companies make in the world, because that's part of the vision I have for myself, having that level of impact. I can't do that alone. I couldn't do this summit by myself. I need a team. I need people to support me. When I run into places in my head that I don't believe I can do that, that's not possible for me. I have people who help me with this part. I call that the anger spectrum. Anytime something is not going the way I want it to go, and I have these not so wonderful conversations in my head, I call that the anger spectrum. This is a concept that I developed. I'll be telling you more about the anger spectrum tomorrow. But when I have these conversations in my head, keeping me from taking the action, I'm stopping myself. If you have listened to me much at all, you hear me talk about all the time how one of the things I know I need to do is make more phone calls. For those of us business owners, entrepreneurs, we know we need to make phone calls, because how do I get people to want to work with me if I'm not willing to reach out and make those connections, make those calls? This was an area where I got so stuck, knowing I need to do it, but here I am stopping myself. Melissa is going to help us learn more about how to work with the unconscious mind later on today. As I heal through those negative head conversations, the anger spectrum conversations that I have that are blocking me from even being effectively myself, those things like phone calls, or how do I build a lead magnet? How do I do a website? All these things get easier, so that my ability to be effective and powerful in the world increases. My ability to make a positive impact on individual people, on groups of people, increases. My effectiveness in all aspects of my life increase when my relationship with myself is healthier, because I've done the healing and I have the support. Again, this is something that cannot be done alone. When I try to do it by myself, I am inclined to just like stay in bed and pull the covers over rather than try to do anything out there in the world. But knowing that there are people who support me, who hold me up, keeps me going. And knowing that I am one of the people that holds other people up, that makes a massive difference to me. That gives me reason to be out there, stretching, doing those things that are uncomfortable. Because anytime I want to accomplish something in my business that I don't already know how to do, it requires being uncomfortable, right? All of you out there, write a 4 in the chat if you are accustomed to this whole experience of being uncomfortable, so that you can move yourself forward, so that you can accomplish something. So I am going to, I had some slides, but I don't remember what they are now. So let's do a little bit of workshop. Okay. So write down goals, like I've been talking about, in your business, in your life, the big picture things that you want to accomplish. What are they? You're the only one that's going to see them. So allow yourself to really dream. Now, this might be easy for you because you might be accustomed to doing this all the time, which is excellent. But if you aren't someone who does that, then also try to stretch yourself and do that. Because when I first had somebody ask me, what do you want? I didn't know. I was so not believing in myself that I had no idea what my goals might be. So think about your goals and also look at how in action am I towards that? What am I doing? Think about that and write, like rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10, where 10 is, yes, I am definitely in action. 1 is, no, I'm not. And in each of the goals, you could rate where you are on that spectrum. And then I'll also look at who are the people in my life who support me in moving forward with these goals. It could be family. It could be friends. It could be coaches. It could be you have an actual team, you have staff. The people who support you in moving forward with those goals. Does anybody have anything they want to ask or any questions? Got a couple of minutes here. Anybody? No? Okay. So I am going to, oh, yes. Okay. So I have a recommendation. Please come on camera so that we can see you, so that you can be part of this experience and see each other. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to, instead of looking at me, I'm going to look at everybody. Yeah, so that you can interact with each other. So what are you taking away from this little conversation? Any actions that you are starting to think about yourself as taking? Write them down. And I encourage you to go over to the Facebook group and write them in the comment thread that I created there for you. Okay?